We listen to... My name is Emma and I run Crime Stories Obsessed. Tonight we're going to be speaking with a Washington state attorney in order to get more insight on what is coming up in the Kohberger case. As Bryan Kohberger is preparing to stand trial for the November the 13th murders of the University of Idaho students Kaylee, Madison, Ethan and Zana. He stands accused of 4 murders and an aggravated burglary charge. And we sit patiently, waiting for the 26th of June. What will this trial hold in regards to evidence, detail, witness accounts and much more? The affidavits released have shed some light on what the state currently holds against Bryan Kohberger, and we are all waiting patiently to see how this will take shape and play out in court. When he was in court in early January, he was charged with all 4 murders, but many questions still remain. Tonight we speak to Michael Stando, a Washington state attorney, to find out more about Bryan Kohberger's case, the jury, the DoorDash order, certain things being said about Bryan Kohberger's time in the jail. Will the jury be allowed in the crime scene, or will it... We listen to Michael's thoughts and his views on the case so far. What we should expect for the trial, what evidence will come out in court, and will the Elantra be the key piece of evidence? Will all this stand up for a murder charge against Bryan Kohberger? But let's get into the case. The show starts in 2 minutes. Hi guys, 2 minutes is now because yes, we're having a few issues. We've had a few issues uploading intros and things today, so it doesn't start in 2 minutes, it starts now. So how are you all guys? Thank you for being here. Thank you. We do have a guest today, and when he comes we are going to have him on and we're going to chat to him about everything that is going on with the Kohberger case. I've been sat here all day, no one's bothered me at all, not one person's texted me. As soon as I press that live button, knock on the door. I'm like, just ignore it, whatever it is, it's not important. Hi Candice, hi Steve. So today we're going to be talking about, I've made so many notes. We're going to be talking about the Bryan Kohberger, the Idaho murders, and everything related to that. We're going to be speaking to Michael. He is a Washington attorney. He knows what time we're going live, so he should be here anytime soon. And we'll just go through what we're going to be talking about today. So let's have a look. So try not to touch the microphone with my hand, Emma. Okay, so as we know, he's, preparing to stand trial for these November the 13th murders, and he currently stands accused of these 4 murders as well as the aggravated burglary charge. Now, we have seen some of the affidavits. We have seen some of the evidence that has been retrieved. We do know that there is a witness in the case, and it's what's going to happen. We're all waiting patiently for the 26th of June, but we just want it to happen now in a way, because can't wish your life away. My mum always says, don't wish your life away, Emma, but we really do want to know what's gonna come out in this case and what they're going to throw out, so what can we expect to see coming out of this preliminary hearing? The scene of the crime. Are we going to be seeing photos? I'm sure they're not going to release those except to the jury. What other evidence do they have? Is everything that they've got what we already know about in the affidavit and the evidence that's been released? Is there anything else that we're unaware of? Hi, Angela. Hi, Candice. Nice to see you all. Hi, Steve. Thank you for coming in. It's really nice of you. So, yeah, I mean, some of the words that have been used to describe Kohberger online, people that know him, people that have met him, neighbors, friends, people that are at the university, have described him as sophisticated and intelligent. Um, and this crime has been explained as a premeditated crime. We heard that he was there 12 times prior to the actual incident, prior to the heinous crime that took place. He was apparently there 12 times. We've also heard that the sisters have apparently now lost their jobs. Yes, I can't spell. Yes, I spelt it lose instead of loose. Yeah, you wouldn't believe I got a B in English. But anyway, moving on. So, yeah, the sisters have apparently lost their jobs. Melissa was a school counselor. Now, it's always baffled me as to, did she know that Bryan had issues? I mean, she was his sister. Surely she knew that there was something not. Sorry, I'm using my hands. Can't help it. Talk with my hands. Surely she knew that there was some kind of issues. If she has studied psychology and she is some kind of counselor, would she not have noticed that a brother has issues? I mean, maybe not, maybe not. Then you've got a sister that's an actress. You've got Amanda that's an actress, and she's in these horror movies where people are getting, with the same weapon that apparently Kohberger used, allegedly, in this 1122 case. We've also heard that apparently the Kohbergers, the sisters, the family are all struggling financially now. They have lost their jobs. I don't know how much a counsellor gets paid. Maybe working in a school. Can you imagine working in a school as a counsellor? A school, you know what kids are like. Then the stuff they're going to have said to this. What was she called? Melissa, at work. The kids can be terrible. They can be nasty. And if there was so much drama going on, you can imagine why maybe that occurred. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know them. I'm just thinking out loud. And then you've got Amanda, who is an actress, his other sister. Was she not getting any work because of this? Now, I don't know whether they're supporting him or not. I get the feeling from what I've seen and heard that they are supporting him and they don't believe he did this. But then again, Melissa is this school counselor. Yes, they have ruined so many lives. Not just the victims that are no longer here and had so much to look forward to and so much to going for them, but you have the families that now have to grieve. The sister of Kaylee is just laid in bed with the covers over her head on TikTok. She doesn't know what to do with herself. The families are, I mean, this could ruin marriages. It could ruin relationships. It's a living nightmare for these people. Can you imagine your loved one, the person that you love the most, being taken away and just never seeing them again? And that is like what they're going through right now. So we're still waiting for Michael to come in. I have given him the link for this. I will just check and just make sure that he does have it. Let's see. Emails. Nothing else. So, yeah, he is supposed to be coming on. I have given him the link for this. Just looking. So sad all around. Yeah. Just so many lives. And welcome everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. I'm Emma. This is Crime Stories Obsessed. And we have a guest tonight, apparently. He's coming in. And he's been to the gym first. Gets up early, but he's coming in to talk to us. He is an attorney in Washington, and he's going to talk to us about the case, his views, and everything that he is aware of. little snippet of information. That phone that Bryan Kohberger is using while he's, my house it's cozy. I try and make it cozy, I try. This phone that Bryan Kohberger is apparently calling people on. Is it a concealed phone? That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm sure he is using the other phone, but everything gets recorded on a jail phone, and the word on the street is that the phone that he's using is a concealed phone, but we'll get into that later. Okay, so Ann Taylor is representing Kohberger. What do you think, guys? Do you think that she actually believes that he's innocent? She's seen all the evidence. She's seen everything on TV just as we have. She's seen everything on YouTube. She's spoken to the guy. Can you imagine representing somebody that... I clicked off with my microphone. Can you imagine representing somebody and knowing or thinking in the back of your mind that they are... let me just text him. That they are guilty? What would you do in that case? I really need to ask Michael when he comes on. Let me just send him a message. There we go. Right. So he knows we're live. Okay. So, so Ann Taylor is representing Bryan Kohberger, and it's like, she must know. She's spoken to him. People are not stupid. People understand what's going on. Surely they must know whether or not... she must know whether he's guilty. His team must know whether he's guilty or not. And it's like, we've just seen stuff on YouTube. We've just seen News Nation and the media. But what about all the stuff that she's heard? She must know. She's an intelligent woman. I could not do that job. I could not represent somebody that in my mind was guilty and then trying to defend them. And I know that you have to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I know it's innocent until proven guilty. But in the back of my mind, if I was like that niggling feeling and I was thinking to myself, no, this person's guilty, I just don't think I could do it. I honestly don't. What do you think about that, guys? Am I just going crazy, or is it... she just wants to get publicity. She wants her name to be known in the law field. Yeah, I think so, because she was apparently the lawyer or the attorney or whatever she's called. I don't know about the American justice system, but she was representing Zana Knodl's mother, and suddenly and then when asked about it, she turned around and said, I've never represented Knodl. Well, why did she say you had? And I'm sure she could provide some kind of evidence of that, but why should she have to? It's just... and then it's down to the judge. The judge in the end has to decide. And as far as I'm aware, she was offered this. I don't know much about it. Cindy says, I think Anne knows exactly who BK is. However, she's a very competitive attorney who will simply want to win, even if BK will be acquitted or found not guilty. But the thing is, Cindy, if she does do that and he does get acquitted, say he is the murderer, allegedly, say he is, and then he goes round to her house and kills her family because he's been let out on a, what's she going to think about that? It's like, well, it's not my family, it's not my relations, so, it's, I don't know. I just kind of think I couldn't do it. I mean, I love helping people. That is why I'm a paramedic. That's why I do the job I do. But I look after them. I treat them the best that I can. And then to the hospital. Somebody else's job then. The nurse, the doctor.
but I don't have to deal with whether somebody's guilty or not. I do get people in the back of the ambulance that are under arrest, and I do have to deal with them. But it's not up to me to decide whether they're guilty or not of any crime. I just deal with their injuries. Oh, I just couldn't do it. What about BK being a serial killer? Who he might kill next? Exactly. Like, if he gets out, because this evidence doesn't stand up, he gets acquitted, whatever reason, if he gets out of this, maybe for a while, because he's been caught, he might lay low. But eventually, a killer is always going to kill again. And if he is the killer, if it is him, then he's going to do it again. And then how would those people feel if it was their family? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, you know, I'm just looking at the comments. I wasn't going to look at the comments tonight because obviously we've got this Michael coming on, and let's see if he sent me any more messages. He really likes my cat. He's got a thing for my cat. I'm about to click the link in 5 minutes, putting all the documents in the PDF. Oh, he's very organised, very organised. So yes, so we're in the lounge today. We thought we'd have a different setup. Tried to make it look nice for you guys so you don't have to stare at this for too long. You've got other things going on in the background. Chester's here also. I will bring him in a bit. So yeah, we're talking about the Bryan Kohberger case. Can't even get my words out today. I'm having one of those days today, you know, when you just drop everything. You just list everything you pick up, you just drop. Yeah, it's one of those days today. I can't even get my words out. But Michael's coming on as well. And we just want to talk about everything. We're going to discuss everything. Not just his family, the sisters losing their jobs, what's going on with the trial, the jury. And then something came out on the news the other day, and it was regarding one of the police officers having an issue. What does that mean? What's an issue? Do they know Kohberger? Because he was wanting to be in the police. Not be in the police, but he was wanting to work with the police. So had he made friends with some officers? What is this issue that this officer has that has suddenly come into play now with this case? And it's an issue, and it's all over News Nation. And this apparent police officer could cause complete disruption for this case. I don't know who he is. I don't even know what the issue is. I'm hoping Michael might be able to give us a little bit more information. I want to ask him about the DoorDash delivery as well, because apparently there's some new information about the DoorDash delivery guy, whether or not it was Kohberger. Hopefully Michael can give us a bit more insight into that. He'll be here in a minute. What else have we got? His thoughts. Now, another thing is the family of Kohberger. I'm sorry, I've got paint all over my fingers. I've been painting the house and I can't get it off. It's a nightmare. But anyway, we've talked about his phone. His family has not visited him at all. None of them have. And it's like, well, do they support him? I've got a feeling they do. They were there initially when he went to court the first time. So I guess they support him, but it's just weird that they've not been to see him. And does that show a lack of support, or does that mean that he's using the phone to contact them? Now, obviously, as we've discussed, jail phone calls are recorded, and as far as I'm aware, so I've been told, he's been using this particular thank you, Sonia. Thank you. That's so kind of you becoming a member. Thank you so much. As far as I'm aware, he's been using this phone that he shouldn't be using, because obviously he doesn't want to use the jail phone because he does not want to be recorded. Who would? I wouldn't, especially depending on what you were saying to your relatives. It's a bit, you know what I'm saying, don't you? So he's not eligible for parole because of the charges against him, quadruple murder charges. And so he's still in the Latah County prison service. He has been described as a loner, and apparently he lived in this flat, right? We've seen the photos online, and according to the neighbors upstairs, he was a nightmare. He was making so much noise. I don't think it was music. I think it was like wandering around, just pacing backwards and forwards. Like he was a night owl. I mean, I don't know how he got up to go to university every day when he wasn't sleeping every night, but apparently he was up all night. Whether that has anything to do with taking anything, I don't know. But yeah, Cindy's put something. What is Brady? Yes, I've heard of that today. It's to do with this police officer that has apparently got this issue, and it could cause a problem in court. But we're going to go over that with Michael, so we're going to ask him about that in a little bit. I wonder if there's a way to tap it into the cell phone. Probably not. I don't know, to be honest. But as far that's what I've been told. Anyway, we'll see. We'll ask Michael. He seems to know more about it. But this lady downstairs, she was complaining because her babies were trying to sleep, and they'd just get to sleep, and then Bryan would be like pacing backwards and forwards across the floor. And she was like, what is he doing? And a few times she even went to actually knock on the door, but her husband kind of pulled her back and said, you're not going. It's probably a good job she didn't. So what else? The death penalty. So apparently prosecutors have yet to decide whether or not they intend to seek this death penalty in the case of Bryan Kohberger, but apparently this bill has recently been passed for the firing squad. So if he is found guilty and all of the victims' relatives agree and he is given the death penalty, then he will he could face firing squad, because apparently they're finding it so difficult to get this lethal injection. They're struggling to get the chemicals for. Sorry, I pressed the microphone again. They're struggling to get the drugs, the chemicals for the lethal injection. So they are considering other options. And they've said that they feel that this firing squad is more humane. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it's more humane? I mean, I suppose it's quicker, isn't it? You're not going to know about it. It's like gone, you know? But yeah, the bill has been passed for that. I mean, it's quite an old-fashioned way of doing things, isn't it? But Sonia, you are funny. But yeah, I can't get this earplug to stay in my ear. I've got tiny ears. It's not happening for me today. And then we've got the knife sheath. I want to ask Michael, does he think that knife sheath was left there on purpose? What do you think about that? Do you think that knife sheath was left on purpose, or do you think it was by accident? And do you think that's why he turned up the following day about 9 o'clock? Do you think he was going to retrieve that knife sheath and try and take it home? Can you imagine going back in there? This guy, like, if he is the person that did all this, like, I think we were all shocked when we heard about the arrest, because we were all like, Bryan Kohberger? Who's Bryan Kohberger? Like, I've never heard of Bryan Kohberger before. I mean, we were all looking into this. We were all trying to work out who it was. We were looking at the boyfriends. We were looking at the exes. We were looking at the parents. We were looking at the friends. We were looking at the uni students. We were looking at everybody. And then it's Bryan Kohberger. It's like, who? You know? But yeah. So, and then when they started giving out the evidence and saying, well, this is his car, he owns a car like this, and this is it, and we all started thinking, oh my God, like, I don't know if there's anybody out there that had already decided that they felt it was Bryan Kohberger, but I don't know how. Justice would be for him to die the way he killed the victims. I completely agree with that statement, Irene. Yes. If you stab somebody, I feel that that is the way you should go. If you poison somebody, that is the way you should go. But it's like proving it. If there's only two people in that room, the victim and the suspect, it's like, how can you prove that? So it's all this evidence, DNA, footprints, fingerprints. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. It amazes me. I was talking to a girl at work actually, and she became a paramedic, but actually she did actually study forensics, and the stuff she was telling me about, like, I could have worked with her all day. Never mind the patients. I was just like, tell me more, tell me more. So I'm just waiting for Michael to come in. Michael, if you're listening, tap that link and I'll bring you up at any point. Yeah, Sonia, I was shocked too. It was like, who? Bryan Kohberger, who? Like, who is he? You know? And this Brady material is information that could be potentially exculpatory. That word is hard to say. For the defense, this material could include evidence that could prove that Bryan Kohberger is not guilty. But what is it? We all want to know the answer to that question. Hopefully, Michael can give us some answers to that question. But yeah. So, is there any questions you want to ask, guys, while I am just waiting for Michael to come in? Sonia, you live in Washington State as well. Wow. So backward seated in a chair, he won't be looking at the squad. Oh, I see. Right. So they turn them round against the wall. Oh my God. Oh, it sounds horrible. But yeah, that's probably what they do, isn't it? I don't know, because I don't know. I don't deal with that kind of thing generally. But yeah, the things that people manage to get off on. I was looking at this case yesterday and I was going to cover it. This guy, I can't remember his name now. He'd been killed and he'd been placed. It looked like apparently he'd been poisoned by his partner. He's not his wife. They've been together 20 years, and she'd apparently poisoned him and then put him in this storage unit. And so people had smelt this smell and they were like, what is this? It's disgusting. The police came and had a look. They found him. She admitted to it. They arrested her on the charges. And then because they didn't offer her some kind of, I don't know, something in the case at the beginning, she got the murder charges dropped. And now all she's charged with is concealing a body. And I'm like, what the hell? I was going to cover that yesterday, but then, hi, General Stealth. I'm obviously dealing with this and trying to get things together for this today. So I haven't covered that yet, but wow. Yeah, General Stealth. You are funny. It's coming from England, you know. So I don't know where Michael is. He will be here soon. So what is it about this case that has you completely dumbfounded? Like, Cindy says, who cares if it makes him scared? Don't you think the kids he killed were scared to death as they killed him? Well, can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night? I know Penny came in my bedroom. It was like a week ago in the middle of the night. And I'm so used to being there on my own, like when she's at her dad's. And she just walked straight in. And it must have been like midnight or something. I was fast asleep. And I jumped out of my skin. Can you imagine? Oh, no. No. They must have been scared to death. I can't even think about it. It's just too upsetting, really. And then to think as well that there were certain... Don't fight on the sofa, guys. I'm just talking to the cats. And then to think that there were certain, I think it was Ethan and Zana, that were apparently collateral damage in a way. I don't want to think of them as that, no, because all 4 victims deserve the same, but it's just awful to think that if he went in there to hurt one particular person, that 4 people ended up dying as a result, and that's really sad. Really sad. Maddie, yeah. And then for him to say, I'm here to help you. Yes. So apparently he went upstairs. They think he went to the top 4 first. Maddie and Kaylee came downstairs. Zana and Ethan, she was awake because she'd just eaten. He must have been awake as well. And I think he did Ethan first. And then he said to Zana something along the lines of, don't worry, I'm going to help you. What the hell? You've just stabbed my boyfriend to death, and now you're going to help me? Like, well, you're not going to trust somebody that you've just witnessed killing somebody in front of you, are you? Like, what was he thinking of when he was saying that? Well, I mean, what was he thinking of when he was the whole situation? But still, crazy. Right, I'm going to have a drink while I wait for Michael. So these are the glasses that I had on my competition. I've got one of them here, and if you turn it round, it says Moe. It's juice. It's a bit early for wine yet, but I just like the glass. And then for him to say, I'm here to help you. Yeah. Yes, and I'm here to help you. Freaks me out. Yeah. Sick mind. Like, what was he just trying to get her to keep still? Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Let me see if Michael has sent me another email. Nothing yet. So apparently he has been on a channel before. I think him and his friend had a channel. So we'll have to tell you about that, and then you can go over and check them out as well. Maybe it was the boyfriend saying, don't worry, I'm going to help you. Yeah, it could have been Ethan. Maybe it was Ethan she heard saying, don't worry, I'm going to help you. Maybe Zana was injured first. That's true. I didn't ever think of it like that. But Robin, was it Robin that said that? If it was Ethan, how sad for him to be so helpless. Yeah, because he'll have wanted to stand up for the girls. He will have wanted to help them. Yeah. I'm smitten by your voice, Emma. It's very relaxing. Oh, thank you. I don't know. It's just a normal English voice. I'll try and relax you a little bit more. I'll keep talking. And while I'm waiting for Michael to come in. Thank you, Candice, for always sorting everything out. And Sonia, thank you. So I've got some photos. Let's go to the photos while we're waiting. Okay. Had a right job today trying to upload these photos. Look at his face. Does he have the face of somebody that's just killed 4 people? What do you think? I don't know. If my personal opinion is that it was him. My personal opinion. I mean, that's just me going by all the evidence and everything that's come out so far. I do think it's him. He's a loner. You know, I was in the hospital last week because I took Bullis to the hospital, my boyfriend, and there was a detective. Actually, I ended up talking to this detective who was really, really nice. And we were chatting, and he was saying that most of the murderers that he has had have all been, loners, incels. They are generally the people that are, related to those kind of crimes. It's also said that they're on a watch list as well. So if somebody is like detailed as a loner or as an incel, some of them are watched. I suppose the ones that have committed crimes before. So these are some lovely photos that I recently found on Instagram of the girls. Some of them you may have seen, some of them you may not have seen. And I just thought they were so nice. And they haven't been massively spread around on YouTube. So I thought, I'll give you something different to look at today. But Kaylee absolutely adored that dog. And it's just so sad. Let me just go back to it. It's so sad that she was... it's so sad that this dog witnessed. And I tell you what, some of you guys might agree with me here. Some of you may not. But it's just a shame that dogs cannot talk. Can you imagine what this dog would have to say for itself if it could tell you exactly what happened that night? But if it could, then it would have probably been killed too, to shut it up. It's just a shame that it cannot tell us. And I know that sounds completely ridiculous, but it's just a thought that I had. I'm like, if that dog could talk, like it could tell us everything we need to know. Xana was heard crying, and I can't believe that DM didn't hear her pleading for her life. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation regarding Dylan, and it's like, did she know what was going on or not? I'm sorry, but me personally, I know people have issues. I work in the ambulance service. I know about PTSD. I know about all these mental health issues, but I don't get this frozen thing. It just does not sit well with me. I froze and couldn't do anything. Now, obviously, I don't know this girl's upbringing. I don't know what happened to her as a youngster. I have no idea. But to say that she apparently just froze, I'm sorry, but I just can't. I just can't with that comment. That completely went past me. When I heard that, I was like, no, you can freeze, but I'm just not going with that. Like, you can freeze, but not for that long. Like 8 hours later or something, you find out that there's something happened when you've heard all that carrying on and you've stuck your head out of the door that many times. And I know, I'm sorry, people are saying, leave her alone, leave her alone. And I do agree completely. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. She's got enough going on. She's just had 4 of her friends murdered. She lived in the house. She's kind of pulled into this crime. She's now going to have to go to court. Yes, I agree. Leave her alone. Do not bully this girl in any way, shape, or form. But me personally, no, I don't agree with this. I froze for 8 hours. Shit. I'm sorry. That just doesn't sit well with me. But everybody's different. Everybody has a different opinion on that. So we've got photos. These must have been taken by a neighbor or maybe the detectives. I don't know how we got these, but they appeared on the internet, so I've grabbed them. And you can see just inside the house, and this was like the day after the crime. So people were taking photos when they realized it was a crime scene, trying to get photos. And as you can see, the DoorDash delivery says Xana on it. Was this delivered by Kohberger, or was it delivered by a DoorDash driver? What do you think, guys? Do you think this was delivered by a DoorDash driver, or do you think it was delivered by Kohberger? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't like to speculate on that. Did she receive food she hadn't ordered? Then again, she had just been out for the night. A lot of people do feel hungry when they've been drinking and they get in, especially if they've been smoking a bit of, what do you call it? Devil's lettuce. And then, they're feeling hungry when they get in. And people do order online. So maybe they did order some food for when they got back. But Michael might have a bit more information as to what he thinks about this and what was going on with this DoorDash delivery. He seems to have a bit more information. I see Robin says, I feel the same way. I know I would have frozen too, but not for 8 hours. No, Robin, who freezes for 8 hours? I've seen people in those states where you look at them and they look right through you, like they're just not even on this earth anymore. They just look like they're looking right through you. And it's like they've had a complete and utter breakdown. It doesn't last 8 hours. No, I don't believe that. And she's okay now. I also didn't believe. Now, I know I've seen that Justin online, and you've probably watched it. He made a video the other day, and despite the fact that I do not believe a word he said, I do not feel it was right for anyone to bully that man. Everybody has an opinion on what was going on. Everybody has the First Amendment right in America. They can all say what they want to say, and they have free speech. So let him have his speech. If you don't believe it, don't believe it. If you do believe it, do believe it. But don't bully that guy. Like, nobody deserves to be bullied. I just, yeah, and it's, yeah. Anyway, I can understand even 45 minutes frozen, but not 8 hours. I agree, Candace. I heard Zana ordered food before she left the party to arrive when she got home. So that could be it then. So maybe she did deliver it. Maybe he just kind of appeared at the same time. He might have been stood at the door as the DoorDash driver came in. But having said that, then the DoorDash driver would have been a witness. He would have seen him. So maybe he didn't come in at that point. I don't know. But don't you think it's weird how he knew that door was not locked? Because they said he did not break in. Like, he did not break into that property. So he just walked in. It is classed as aggravated burglary because obviously he didn't live there, but he didn't actually break any locks or anything. He just walked in. The door was open. So, well, not open, but unlocked. In which case, how did Bryan know? Because we've all been told that he was sat outside or he was in the vicinity 12 times before this crime took place. But was he sat in his car for 12 times, or was he walking around feeling if the door's locked or not 12 times? Who knows? Who knows? He was in the vicinity 12 times. Was he in the house? Did he meet any of the girls at a pub? Was he there because they'd invited him? Can't imagine why they would, looking at him, to be honest, but a lot of people seem to find him attractive. I'm not one of them, sorry. So this is a picture of Bryan. I just do not find that guy attractive. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Whether he was a murderer or not, allegedly, it does nothing for me. It absolutely nothing for me at all. Let me have a drink. So I don't do lives very often. I am in a complete and utter state with myself before I go live. And the creators that go live every day, I am in awe of. Because although I sound confident now, I'm just too nervous. I'm too nervous to go live every day. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. I'm just like, I'd rather hide behind the screen. I'm just, and my boyfriend is like, oh, you need to go on, show your face, you're beautiful. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't suppose you ever feel like that about yourself, do you? Okay. Anyway, getting back to the case. So this is one of his sisters. I think this is Amanda. And I've been told that she has lost a job. Well, according to News Nation, she's lost a job. And I think this is a picture of her in one of the films that she was in. And she's wearing a very similar outfit to what Bryan's wearing there. But she's role playing because she has not actually been arrested. She was just in a film. But as far as we're aware, she's not getting the work that she thought she was. Right, let's see if there's any more messages. Let me get the link for the live. Invite guests, copy link, and send. Okay. There we go. So apparently they've got loads of evidence. They have a black WSU shirt, black Nike gloves, black and white Nike trainers, and he's into this Under Armour, quite tight fitting undies. There we go. Nice picture of some undies there. I mean, but when you look at the photos of him, he always seems to be wearing very dark clothing anyway. But what turned him into a monster? What made him this person that we see in the orange jumpsuit? Was he always fascinated with true crime? Because I tell you what, I'm fascinated by true crime. As you can see, I own a channel. I've got 41,000 subscribers and I create content most days. But have I murdered anybody? No. Maybe somebody will, wait a minute. Maybe someone will hire her, the sister, to portray Bryan in a film about the Idaho killings. Well, I think Bryan has wanted to learn everything about crime to commit the perfect crime. Yeah, you think that's why he did all the criminology? In order to commit a crime. Obsession. Yeah. Defense. Thank you for all being here anyway, all 54 of you. I very much appreciate you being here and listening to me. I will now take the photographs on so you can see my face and see who you're listening to. Right, wait a second. Get rid of that. So, out of everything you have heard about this case so far, what is the thing that bothers you the most? Obviously, the killings, of course, the murders. But what is it going forward with this case that concerns you? Is there anything that concerns you regarding this case? What concerns me is that he will be acquitted, that they will find some kind of evidence that, or some loophole, or he never got offered this, or he never got offered that, and then they drop the charges. To me, that just would be a nightmare, complete nightmare, because he's going to go out and do it again. He may lay low for a short period of time, but he'll do it again. All killers will. I think so. I think once you've killed somebody, I don't think you can go back. I think you'll do it again. It's like people who cheat on the wives. They do it once, they're going to do it again. Beautiful. You're the bee's knees. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I am an absolute nervous wreck before I come live. I was talking to Brittany, allegedly Brittany, last night on Messenger. I was like, I don't know how you do it. And she was like, I'm not nervous. I'm like, how? How are you not nervous? I go bright red. My ears go red. I go hot. I start sweating. Like, yeah. I'm just, yeah. Bullis! Hi! My boyfriend is in the chat. He's here to support me. Thank you, Bullis, for being here. We have an issue. Hopefully it won't be for long. Michael has not appeared yet. We're waiting for Michael to come in, the attorney, in order to talk to us about the Kohberger case and what's going on and forward, what's going to go forward with this case and little things that he might know about everything. So we're just waiting for him to come in. I've sent him the link and I am just sat here waiting for him. If he's listening, get your ass in gear, mate. He won't get off if I really do. I pray so hard. In fact, I said a prayer last night and I was like, Bryan Kohberger, please don't let him get off. Don't let him get off on any loophole, or he doesn't deserve. He can't. Those families, can you imagine what those families would feel like if that no justice? Well, if he doesn't show, that's fine. We've had a lovely chat. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, we've had a bit of a chat, haven't we? If he doesn't turn up, then what do? You can only control yourself, and what you're doing. You can't control everybody else and what they're doing. I would offer to Paul be safe. If he did, Kaylee's dad would be waiting. I'm sure he would. Yes. So what else have I got on my little list of things to talk about with you today? I've made so many bullet points. Oh yeah, listen to this.
You heard about the arrest? It was him? Gosh, what was that like for you?
Yes, I and my family very shocked. Yeah, especially my wife. At that time, she was not very, could not sleep very well. Worried about it. He is unrest.
Did you ever go up and ask him what he's doing at midnight, or?
Sometimes we go. Sometimes they make a noise in Father Earth. We wake up, and sometimes my wife wants go outside to knock the door, but I stopped her.
She never did.
So basically, that wouldn't upload, so I couldn't play it for you. But that was, I think it was Fox News, and they went around and they knocked on the door to the neighbor's house, and they're like, "Can we speak to you? Do you know Bryan? What's he like?" And they were saying, "Oh, we've got babies," and he doesn't sleep. He just walks back and forth, making all this noise all night. And she wants to go knock on the door and tell him to stop it, and the husband stopped from going round. It's probably a good job. Cindy says, an example of expulsory evidence in the Brady, yeah, we need to ask him about this, would be that the witness is not credible. If it happens, it will make the prosecution harder to convince the jury if they've confused by this. Please, I am praying. Let's pray, guys. He's not allowed to get off. He cannot get off. Right, so other things. What else have I got for you here?
Before used in a present case, just only in cold cases.
So let me just interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, but you're saying this lab that they sent the knife sheath to has never been used before except in cold cases?
Yes, this was the first time they were willing to take a chance. They wanted desperately to make an arrest. They wanted desperately to tie the suspect to this knife sheath.
So basically, the knife sheath that they found, right, they sent it off to a lab. Of course they're going to send it off to a lab. They're going to send it off to somebody because they want some DNA off it. They sent it to a lab that has never received a piece of evidence before. It's the biggest piece of evidence in the case besides the car. It's the only DNA that we know about that's linked to Bryan Kohberger, and they send it to a lab that's never been used before. Okay. Yeah, you're probably thinking the same as me. What the hell? Anyway, I believe Mr. G would do something to BK if he walked free. I think I would. Can you imagine? Oh my God, they did get the sheath sent to a startup lab instead of the Idaho foreman. Yeah, instead of sending it to the lab that they always send their evidence to, that has always worked before and they've probably never had a problem with, they send their only piece of evidence to a startup lab that's never received a piece of evidence before. Yeah. Dad had a white land. Brent Kohberger's dad had a white. Who's Brent Kohberger? Is that a detective outside his house? If he is clever enough, he could go on to blame Brent stealing the knife. Ooh, yeah, evil exists. Hey. There's a lot of people in my comment section that have said that they feel that Bryan Kohberger was set up. Loads of people have said that they feel that Bryan's set up. Do you? There's 58 people listening right now. You may not normally comment, but tell me, do you think he's set up or do you think he's done it? Just put done it, set up. What do you think? I'm interested to know. Like evidence planted possibly. People have been talking about that. Evil Exists, you've got a channel. If you haven't been over to Evil Exists, check it out. They've got a channel, very similar amount of subscribers to me. Every day posting new videos. It's great. I love it. I'm one of my close friends on YouTube. Always there for me when I need them. And yeah, did you find Evil Exists? Did you find that you have had a lot of comments also under your videos stating that you feel that they were set up? Or is it just me? So we've got done it. I love you. Oh, I love you too. Angela Boulas, you get a kiss too. Angela, Evil Exists, love you. I love you. Robin, done it. So everybody thinks he's done it, but I have had comments in the comment section saying they feel that he's been set up, and he did not. He did not do it. Right, let's just check and see what Michael's doing, because I'm about to just cancel this live if he's not coming on. I'm here because he wanted to come on. Make sure to have Chester. Yep. I'm about to click the link in 5 minutes. I'm putting all the documents in the PDF. I forgot to ask, how is your day going? I'll be up in 5. That was 20 minutes ago. So we'll give him another 10 minutes and then we'll close the live. Other people saying he did it. He did it. I just don't know how he's going to get away with. I mean, that photo from the petrol station, from the fuel station, of his car going past. Obviously, you can't see a registration plate. You can't see anything from that. Whether they've got any other CCTV that they've not released yet with his registration on it, I don't know. But the only one we've seen is like the white car, and it's kind of blurred, and it's going past the fuel station, and you can't even see if there's who it is that's in it. You certainly can't see the registration plate on it. So what evidence have they got? And what I'm interested in is, how is he going to talk himself out of the evidence that they do have? Evil Exist said, we go back. I feel like they have a ton of evidence against him, but waiting for trial to bring out the solid stuff. I feel he did it. Yeah, I definitely feel he did it, but that's just my personal opinion. Also, I think what they have got on him is going to be hard to talk his way out of, which is why I feel that they're going to try and get the case thrown out on some kind of I don't know, in order to just get it thrown out, because otherwise he's going to have to answer for it. And he's not going to, I mean, look at him. He's a narcissist as far as I can see. I can't imagine him going, yeah, guilty. Like, it's not going to happen. So, guys, I don't do lives very often. So enjoy, because probably won't be on for a while. Yes, as always, possible there's an accomplice. Yeah, do you think there was somebody else? Or do you think it was just him? Like, I think he's such an incel and he's such a loner that I can't imagine him telling anybody about it. Or I think he likes the control of knowing what he did and nobody else knowing. I don't think anybody else was with him. But yeah, it's a good thought. Like, was there somebody with him? Did he act alone? Did he do it? And the drive and getaway car, etc. I think a few people involved. Evil Exists. I am so on the fence about it, but leading more towards he did it himself, acted alone. I think his dad knew before the police. Do you think his dad knew? I mean, it was the holidays, so it's not like he just, as far as I'm aware anyway, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but as far as I was aware, like, it was the holidays and he was going to go back home. So it wasn't just like he did it, then went, oh my God, I better get out of uni, and then just disappeared off and randomly took himself out of university during midterm and drove back with his dad. Like, so I think it was the holidays. So I'm sure would his dad have been suspicious? I'm sure as his parent, they knew that he had issues, like, but whether or not they actually felt that he was capable. It's like that girl yesterday, that Audrey Hale, that did that terrible crime in Nashville. And like, her parents are like, what? They couldn't believe she'd done that. Yes, the dad knew. I think they got stopped. His dad looked gutted. Well, did you see when the police pulled up and they went to the side of the window of the car, and the look on Kohberger's face is a picture. He looks like he is shitting himself, literally, because he doesn't know at that point whether he's getting pulled over for something he's done or whether he's getting pulled over because they're about to arrest him for murder. So his face in that photo is, yeah. You would never think your kid is capable of that. No, well, you wouldn't want to, would you? I mean, surely as a parent, you know your kids have got issues, and you have doubts, and not every. I mean, all kids have issues. Penny's a teenager right now. She's got bloody all sorts of issues going on, and most of the time she doesn't even want to speak to me. It's like that part of a teenager. But you wouldn't want to think that your child was capable of that, I don't think. Let me get another drink. Ribena. I don't know what to do. I have 3 grown sons in their 30s. He acted alone. Here in Tennessee, it's been so sad here for the 6 beautiful lives that were taken away. Completely agree. I mean, what makes somebody want to do that? Is it because they want to be famous? I mean, if you saw that message that Audrey Hale sent, the shooter, Audrey Hale, the shooter, sent to her friend the morning that she did this, she put, "You'll probably see me on TV after I die." She wanted those police officers to kill her. She didn't want to be here anymore. She decided how she wanted to go out, and she wanted to be famous for something. But what's the point? Because you're not going to be here to go, "Oh yeah, look, I'm on the news. Wow, I'm in the newspaper." What is the point? It's not like you're going to know about it because you're going to be dead. Seriously. So you take all those lives, and for what? So you're famous for something that you're never even going to know about because you're not here to see it. Sorry, I'm just getting on my high horse. Young babies, and I enjoy it. Don't want them to grow up. So shocked about this case. Why she had to take others, I don't understand. No. But I don't think I'll ever understand. And as much psychology as I read, as many articles and documentaries that I see and listen to, I still don't think I'll ever be able to understand it. And I think that's what fascinates us. That's what makes us want to watch, because we're normal. We're normal people. So for us to imagine doing that, it's like, it's interesting, but it's like, why? What motivated them? So to us, it's interesting in a dark way, but that doesn't mean that because all of us listening right now, all 57 of us listening right now, are interested in true crime, does not mean that we're all going to go out now and murder somebody. So, what's going on with my screen? For some reason, I've disappeared. Can you still see me, guys? There I am. I'm back. I don't know. Something came up on the screen. I've not seen it before, and I was like, "What's that?" I wonder how many murderers I've walked past in my lifetime. Oh my God. Yes. I've often thought that. It's weird, isn't it? The sort of things we think about. Like, if people could see what was going through our minds, it's like going to the zoo to see a dangerous animal. I heard Bryan can watch YouTube. Yeah. Apparently he watches TV. They've got like this TV outside of his cell, so he can't actually touch it. He can't change the channel. He's got to like shout, "Excuse me, can you just turn it? I want to watch Fox News now." Like, "Oh, Ashley's on. Can you just change the channel?" But it's outside of its cell, so he can't reach it, but he can ask them to turn it on. Seriously, Sonia, what the? Yes. Now, is it because he's not actually been found guilty in a court of law? Is that why he's allowed to use the phone and use the internet and talk on the phone and listen to the TV and keep up with the case? Is that why? Because he's not actually been sentenced. Is that why he has these privileges? Because as far as I'm aware, if you're locked away for something, I mean, you might as well be at home, just locked in on house arrest. If with a tag on, if they're going to let him watch the TV and the radio and keep up with case and talk on his own phone, like, so what's the point? Like, I don't think people who are locked up, whether they are whether they've just been arrested and charged or whether they've been sentenced. I don't think they should have all these privileges, to be honest. I want to watch Crime Stories Obsessed. Woohoo! So I've decided I'm going to start making more documentaries on my other channel. So if you've not seen it, it's called Crime Documentaries Obsessed. So it's the same kind of thing. But on that one, we don't just deal with up-to-date cases like this where we just talk randomly about things. That is start to finish, the history of the person, what they've done, how it happened to trial. And yeah. So Crime Documentaries Obsessed, if you've not. And I'm going to do more face-to-face videos, kind of a little bit like Bailey Sarian, although I haven't got the humor. We'll try, guys. That's a good channel. I know a lad, the AB baby, the best thing. Oh, moved. My tummy's rumbling really bad and the microphone is right next to my stomach, guys. I think I'm gonna have to move the microphone. Wait a second. Or you're just going to be able to hear my tummy rumbling. I need to go to the supermarket and get something for dinner. So if Michael's not here in the next 5 minutes, we are going to cancel this live because I wasn't planning on coming on here and just talking to myself. I was actually planning on coming on here with him, and we did arrange a time. So I'm kind of at a bit of a loss here. Obviously, there's plenty to talk about in this case, but a lot of it you've probably all heard before, which is why I wanted Michael on so that we could discuss some of the things, his views, and some of the things that maybe you've not heard of. Fantastic result, Candice. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with this case. There's no real new updates. News Nation seems to be clamoring for the slightest piece of information that they possibly can find on this. I mean, the sisters losing their jobs. Is that really headline news? I mean, at the end of the day, they're not Kohberger. They're not related to this case. They didn't commit this with him. So really, it's not that important. But I suppose in relation to the fact that they are related to him and they're losing their jobs because they are related to him, maybe that's pretty bad. But when you're a school counsellor, can you imagine the kids, if you're a school counsellor, kids coming in and you're supposed to be counselling them and they're giving you back chat over your brother? Yeah. What's the obsession with Bryan? Lol. News Nation. Yes, they do have an obsession with Bryan. I think what it is, I think it's all about views. I think they've obviously, it's like all channels, we all do it. You cover a case, they get a hell of a lot of views. I mean, I made some Bryan Kohberger videos. I got 126,000 views on one video. I was like, what? 100 and what? 126,000? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was shocked. And so you get a lot of views, you get paid more. So people are, unfortunately, it's just the way of the world. People will cover other cases, but if there's a particular case that they're getting a hell of a lot of interest on, they are going to concentrate on that case. And I'm sorry to say, it's just the way of the world, Money and views, Candace, money and views. And everybody does it. I do it. I'm not going to lie. I want feeding too every month. So everybody does. But we also cover other cases as well. Everybody welcome coming in. Please remember to hit that like if you've enjoyed listening to us chit-chatting away. Please press the like button, guys. I really do appreciate it. I don't ask for anything else. Just press the like. Brian Walsh was... That man is crazy. Do you know what? I've not really covered that Brian Walsh case. Bullers High.
So I think we're going to finish today. We're going to call it a day. We've had a good chat. We've been on for how long have we been on for now? Let's have a look. We started 6:15. We started at 5. So we've been on an hour and 15 minutes. I've really enjoyed talking to you. As you know, I don't come online very often. I am too nervous. Although I don't show it, it's like I hide it. Which is why I don't come on every day like everybody else. So please press the like. Please, I'm just so grateful for you all for just listening to me. Really, thank you so much. And check out some of the other videos. I have a massive playlist of the Idaho case, the Idaho student murders. I've also done a lot of tribute videos with loads of pictures that a lot of people haven't seen. So check that out. Click the like as you're going out. And guys, thank you. I will be here. I'll be back with you again soon. So take care. Take care.